This is WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. You're listening to Off the Record, a series here at WKNC where all types of musical artists are interviewed. I'm your host, The Loaf, and I am here with Augurs, a local band here in Raleigh. How are y'all doing? I'm glad to have you all here.
What up?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Thanks for having
Feeling
us.
fine.
So introduce yourself. Who are y'all? What instruments do you play?
My name is Christopher Niver. I play a bass guitar, and yep.
I'm Connor Regan. I play a red Gibson SG
Nice.
with a lot of pedals, and I do backup vocals occasionally.
My name is Elena Stanley, and I am the lead singer, and I also drum.
Nice. Are y'all like NC natives here? Were you born and raised here, or did you like live your most of your life here? Like, what's up with where y'all from?
So yeah, I'm from Wilmington, and I've been here.
I was born in Charlotte, and then I went to state and graduated in 2019, so I've been here like 8 years.
Nice.
Yeah, I was born in Wilson, North Carolina, for
Gotta get that
y'all.
T, yeah.
And yeah, I usually catch a lot of flack for not doing the T, but I'm a soft S Wilson girl, and I also went to state. I think we all went to state.
We are
did.
All of you went to state?
Yeah, this is an
Yeah.
alumni band.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
nice. It's kind of like Iron Maiden, right?
It
Where
was
it's
a
like
long
they got the
time
two-
ago. Yes.
That's awesome. I knew that freaking Connor was only graduated, but I didn't know that Chris you only graduated. So
Former
that's awesome.
Alexander R8.
Yeah, Elena, what'd you study here?
I studied plant and soil science.
Tight. And what do you do now?
I am a
You don't
graphic
know.
designer. The world is your oyster. Do whatever you want.
It is.
Exactly. So, how long has the Augurs been around?
Oh gosh, almost 6 years now.
Yeah, I think
Jeez.
we started playing in 2017. It was
Yeah.
me and Connor at the time, and Connor was like, "Hey, I know this girl that's really cool, and she also plays guitar." And I was like, "Rad."
Yeah, I
So
met her at a jam across the street from my house. So like iteration 1 of this band was a 4-piece.
Okay.
That's right.
And we sounded like if Grateful Dead had fuzz pedals.
Yeah, it was a lot different sound, but yeah, it was me and Connor, and then our good friend Donovan playing the bass, and our good friend Ari doing guitar. And
Yeah.
they have since moved on to their own projects, which is awesome. So
Electronic, yeah.
yeah, Donovan does solo
Loopy.
electronic like DJ stuff with Xylem,
Yeah.
and then Ari does solo electronic in a really different way, but so awesome with Ari Swims. And so since then, we have brought on Christopher Niver.
Yeah, little Christopher, as we like to say in the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2020, I was taking over. Excited to play our first show at Slim's in March 2020, and then stuff happened, and then I think Ari wanted to do other stuff mid-pandemic,
Yeah.
so we just kind of
She came
Then
to
you
one
moved
one
and-
practice and
It
did
was
like
fun,
some
though.
like really dope like synth stuff, and then like
basically
Yeah.
the band burned down, started up from the ground again with
And
different
we
recorded,
iteration,
like-
because we
Yeah.
tried. Did we ever do any of the old songs? No, I guess we are now.
We-
We're doing one of the new old songs.
yeah.
And basically just wrote all new junk and played. Yeah, during 2020, a lot of time to do it, and a lot of time to kind of figure out the new iteration and figure out where we all fit into the songwriting process. And I mean, if you listen to both bands, it's definitely night and day. Same in name, but like different
Totally
iteration for
different
sure,
vibe, yeah.
which is fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that sort of older iteration of the band have a lot of like influence and a lot of presence in your mind as you're making as you sort of rekindled, or is it just sort of just like kind of just like you evolved from further on to there?
For me, like absolutely, like back in college, I used to listen to a lot of. I was a big jam band guy. I have the like
Okay.
little Grateful Dead lightning bolt tattoo on my leg, and like
Nice.
I was like I really like the heady stuff.
What a loser.
So like it was all like a lot of like really like spacey. There was a lot of really like lofty improv like guitar solos that were like folding like, you know, together on each other. And then I think probably my senior year, like towards like the tail end of like the previous iteration, I started like listening to a lot of like heavier stuff and like King Giz and like the OCs and like Ty Segall and all of that. And then it kind of like started like blending together, you know, and like forming like a different iteration.
It is the previous iteration.
Yeah,
match the
absolutely.
current?
I think with the
We still influence it?
yeah, with the more like chill parts, like absolutely I still do like a lot of like little like cool like delay like wah type solos and stuff. And I think that it definitely shines through. We're all a lot better musicians now, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Nice.
I mean, from older iteration to newer iteration, you can still tell that it's Connor playing the guitar for sure, which is great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a highlight. I'd say from the older iteration to new iteration, it is a lot of kind of the same thoughts and feelings and wanting to do the same thoughts and things, but yeah, I'm just better at playing the drums now, so I can play it faster.
Yeah,
I was like,
awesome.
Yeah, gears better. We're all more on time.
That's right. Yeah, because I mean, I didn't start playing drums until 2017, so it was just really. I mean, yeah, I had just started playing drums. I had just started playing drums when we started the band. So, because I'd always done other music, like I played trombone in middle school and was in the choir and doing
Alto for me.
That's right. I got an unbeatable mouth trumpet. I'll show you that later. But that's I just ended up playing the drums for the first time, and it ended up where we were in that jam group together.
Yeah.
And it all worked out, and somebody wanted to be in a band with me, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, if you insist. So for anybody that's wondering, is it too late to pick up an instrument? No, it's not.
No, not at
I'm
all.
31 and having the time of my life. Just do it. So.
And I never was that exposed to the old iteration, so I was just kind of. I was initially just planning on filling in on old songs, so I just kind of did whatever anyway, which I think worked good because, you got to have some kind of new direction with a new dynamic, and it fit nicely into the existing one that was still there a little bit.
And we recorded a whole album, and it just didn't end up getting released for one reason or another, so that'll be,
That's
that's our legacy.
Trying to think of some good hidden album. It's just as good as that one that you're thinking of.
Yeah, but it is really interesting how all of us have similar but different music tastes and how they all work together. So you've got Connor doing like jam band, but now like garage rock.
That's like heavy psych.
Thrashy, heavy psych.
Yeah.
And like I used to listen to a lot of like the Mars Volta and like Lightning Bolt and like Block Party.
Yeah, you sing like the Mars Volta a lot. We got that comparison one time. When I don't remember when
I'm
we
delighted.
Submitted, but like, you know, like.
We saw them in DC
Mars Volta.
last week.
Have you heard of them?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I don't know. I just want to make sure. I know you work at a radio station, but I can't.
It was so inspirational. It was good to kind of like come full circle on that.
Yeah.
Where I used to listen to them a lot before I played music in like a rock band setting, and now I do the rock band thing, and I was able to see Mars Volta and be like, "Whoa, they are just crushing! It's unbelievable!"
Yeah.
So, and then also a lot of Primus too, where I think most of our crossover is those just kind of weird Primus bass, like.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah, the Primus thing is real.
Yeah.
It's a fair comparison.
Yeah, they suck.
Hey.
No, I mean, it's
Dang.
the in joke.
We will not talk ill about Primus
No,
on our
I mean,
interview. No.
Primus sucks. Primus sucks.
The Primus stuff.
That's the thing. It's
Oh, is that a thing?
you missed
Am I
that.
out
Oh,
of
well.
That's the
It's
joke.
like they're like a 30-year-old band now.
Oh.
So welcome.
Yeah.
You can say Primus sucks and it's cool.
Yeah. That's funny.
I will never.
All right.
So I guess more generally, how would you guys define your own music? I know that you seem to have a lot of inspiration from jam bands and sort of like electronic from like your older iteration. How would you sort of define it now in that space? I know that you guys, I guess personally, or at least what you have on Souls personally, that is like more like space rocky type sort of. I guess I love the quote where it's like space rock band specializing in guitars going meadly.
Yeah, that was
and
that was
melting
Elena.
faces.
Yeah.
I love that quote so much. Is that more what it is? That's sort of like space rock with sort of like a hazy sort of shoegazy psychedelic type feel.
Well, when we first started playing shows with this like the new iteration, we had to come up with like a byline,
Yeah.
and that was what I think Elena was in charge of that, and so she just like sent that out, and it you know it makes sense. I think Niver called it like art thrash a couple days ago, and I was like, I don't know if that's like.
Somebody made the thrash comparison, which I didn't see on my own, but then like in retrospect, it's like, damn, it kind of is.
What's like, well, with the, I don't know, with like the fuzz and the
we
faster.
flirt with metal a lot. It's just the fun. Like obviously,
Very
none of
heavy.
us are huge metal fans, and don't ask us band trivia about that. But like we all like to farting around with kind of heavy sounds, and like it's so fun to jam on. And half of them have turned into little songs. And art thrash is.
Big songs.
Art thrash, yeah, we'll go with that.
Big songs.
Yeah,
Try to make them interesting, you know.
I don't want to disclude that I think we have a lot of post-punk in us as well.
Yes.
Like I remember when I listened to Squid.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I'm just a big fan. I'm a huge fan. And I was like, I want to play music like that. And I was like, oh, wait, we kind of do. Yes, we're post-punk. Yes. Because I just have been really bad at the like genre defining. I got to get like Connor WKNC Radio Man to, I'm just like, I don't know.
A radio man.
Radio man over here. So with that, what are some like major, I guess, sort of like artistic inspirations that you have for this new iteration? I know that you said earlier, Alana, with Mars Volta, yeah, all type of stuff, and some jam bands with King Gizzard. Is that sort of still very present?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, so the OCs are like they're probably my top 5, if not like my favorite band. I have like one of their album covers like tattooed on my leg, like the Orc from their like 2017 album Orc.
Yeah.
And
from the outside, I think it's your favorite band because he goes to every show.
Every
where I'm just
show,
like, I'm not going to see OCs for the 7th time with you, Connor, but you have a good time.
He's just well, it's just to me like the dude. He's like he's like in his like mid 40s, and he's just like absolutely covered in tattoos, and he has this crazy like Mario mustache now. And
so Connor's shooting for.
And yeah, dude. No. I don't want to. I used to have the little curlies, but now I'm like keeping it short because it'll always get the hair in my mouth.
Need the wax, my guy.
I have the wax.
Okay,
never mind. My bad.
No.
But yeah, so like I really. Oh gosh, dude. Like
I'm going on record as anti-jam bands. No jams for me.
Yeah, they're not. It's tough. We don't do like any like live improv stuff.
How do you guys like Fish?
Fish can go.
No?
Okay, all right, hold on.
Drop on a deck.
I don't my
Because it's a fish.
my roommate
They're all right.
my roommate Max, he'll appreciate this shout out. Huge fish
Huge
head.
Fish fan, yeah.
And I have a friend, shout out Danny Rosin, got me a seated ticket at this last Fish show right behind the sound box. So I was sitting next to all the dudes that were doing like the bootleg recordings and stuff.
Yeah.
Never listened to Fish before. Absolutely amazing experience. I won't listen to them again on purpose. But the experience was tight. Yeah, it was a good
Bonnaroo 2012.
I spent
Left early.
$25 on canned water. Sucked.
Woo! It's polarized.
Definitely, I was very thirsty at that show, for sure. Definitely cycling,
Thirsty,
Senor Fish.
cycling a lot of liquids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about influences or something.
Yeah,
OCs,
Right.
Ty Segall. I like the garage stuff. I had a previous band, and we
I
played
guess we're all
here.
pretty garage influenced to some degree.
Yeah, it's just like the gnarlier stuff is like how like a lot of the time how we'll like start like writing songs, and then we'll be like, all right, well, let's make like a nicer, more like floaty riff, you know, because that stuff is like kind of like harder to to jam around, whereas like the power chords and like just like little simple like chord structures with like some like nice delay. Like I use 2 amps, so it goes like wah, 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 like and like and like.
Yeah.
And
I wish
like,
you could see the hands with this one.
yeah, I know they're moving pretty wild. It's that kind of stuff is a lot easier to like add like afterwards. So I definitely think that like we start with like the heavier side of the song, and then like we'll add like the more like woo woo
Yeah.
type.
The more sort of like ethereal, sort of
Yeah.
like hazier type psychedelic type
Yeah.
noises.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
Harder's
Connor-
definitely easier to write for myself. Like I'm trying to work on the softer stuff. It's harder.
Yeah.
It's harder to make it sound pretty, but we do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It all sounds
Yeah.
good. So
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
it's a good time. I find myself wanting to do drum covers of, the Mars Volta and like King Gizzard and Block Party, but then also sometimes like drum and bass songs.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm just always like, if I could drum like
Cursa.
Yusuf Days or like what the stuff that JD Beck does, I would be so
Oh
happy.
God.
Oh.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
They're coming to
I'll
Charlotte.
all
Shouts out
around.
to Cosmic, whoever who played at Shikori. They were gnarly. Did you see them? Oh yeah, you didn't go. But they were JD Beck and Dami quality. They were so tight.
Ooh.
What was the name of the
I
band?
don't remember Cosmic something.
Nice.
Cosmic something.
They're good.
Not
They're
Cosmic.
Charlotte.
Not
They'll come back.
Cosmic Charlie. They're a
Cosmic
Grateful Dead
Encounter.
cover band.
Cosmic Burrito.
That's a good
Cosmic
name.
Cantina. Yeah.
No, that's not. Definitely not that.
Uh,
Yeah.
But interrupting what you were saying about
Influences.
yeah,
What about you?
jazz? Yeah, I like.
Oh, you did that. We have that. There's like one particular song that we have where. Which one is it? Is it Cocktail of Chemicals where you do the disco beat?
Oh, yeah.
No, that's
I
Magic.
guess. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that
it's
one's
just
sick.
Magic is
octaves,
real,
but
yeah.
Magic
Vaguely.
is real, yeah.
disco-y for us. But I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, where
I
you
like
do
the electronic influence stuff. I definitely went through it. I still listen to a ton of electronic music and just anything that's, I don't know, pushing the boundaries of sound design and percussion rhythms. Anything with interesting rhythms I really love, and I think me and Elena have a good dynamic of as a rhythm section to kind of come up with ideas and feed off of each other like that. But yeah, rhythm is definitely one of the most important things to me, and I think that's really highlighted in or what I look for and what I love in electronic music
Well, that's
that I listen
convenient.
to, which is good because it's like a yeah. I feel like it's a different kind of perspective of influences than Connor and Elena have too. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
try.
Yeah, I think Elena's probably like the center of the Venn diagram, right? Would you say that that's
Yeah.
right?
I mean, we don't need mathematical models, but yeah.
I mean, I'm just thinking, you know, I don't
yeah,
really
you
listen.
circles.
Are you a circle or
We're
are
all
you a
just a
square?
couple of circles hanging out together.
Also,
Yeah.
do you need to like point this at your face?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
You should be
It
fine
just-
as long
okay.
as it's very like that. Uh,
Okay, just checking.
So I guess going on to your first, your self-titled EP with this new iteration, the 5 little song EP. I, at least from my perspective, it seems like you guys have a ton of different perspectives on your own music and like how you sort of see it.
Isn't that wild?
It's great. It feeds a lot of just sort of like, I feel like with that, I guess I'm now found with like the complexity of it and just sort of just like how diverse yet together it is.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Or like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these songs release, how I see it is like very like self-driving and like very much getting that sort of like post-punk with that sort of just like waves of these electronic ethereal and all that sort of like shoegazy type noise, which is what I really enjoy. How do you sort of balance all these different sort of presence of like stuff to make something like coherent and just like sort of that feeds off of each other?
Oh, that's a great question. So,
I
you
mean,
can go
we
first,
do.
yeah. Talk about it. No, it's important. Yeah, go
Nobody
ahead. Yeah.
knows. It's like when you have to explain your process, you just go
I
blank.
mean,
But I
Yeah.
mean, really, a lot of what we do is jamming, and if
Okay.
if it
like
if it sounds
30
bad, we
minutes
don't
per
do it.
practice.
cutting and editing, like just a ton of jamming, but then a ton of trimming and massaging to work it down, because combining, splicing parts together, kind of making song structures, like for example in Ableton from a jam and just kind of stitching it together. It'll be like, I wonder if we play this part coming in 3 times and then trying it out and vice versa. So a lot of gardening, I guess. You're taking the literature analogy, but
way to say it.
I guess tiring up a bunch of soil, sowing a bunch of seeds.
Yeah.
And I think a lot. I'm like kind of like the texture guy. I have like a big old pedal board, and so I think it really like sometimes like when we're working on specific parts, like Elena will be like, oh, like I want it to be like this particular mood. You know what I mean? And then I'll be like, all right. I can do that.
Like, I know what to do.
I know, yeah. And then click on some things, and I just added this crazy pedal that sounds like a organ. It has like an organ. It's like the Mel 9, I think, and it sounds like an organ. And no, dude. So I had the left nostril.
Nice, okay.
I had the left nostril for a year.
I wasn't just being ignorant.
No, I had the left nostril for a year, and then like about a month and a half ago, somebody was like, "Dude, like it just keeps getting infected. Like you should just go get the septum."
Okay.
And then I did. I got the septum, and I haven't had any problems at
all. It looks
all.
pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks. Dude.
I hope it helps
It
the
does look
songwriting
good,
process.
It definitely does. It definitely does. I definitely feel a lot cooler on stage too.
Circling back.
Yeah. But gosh, the textures. Oh yeah. So like I think the most like the song that definitely changes like mood the most is like Cocktail of Chemicals, right? That one's like kind of like a really wild journey. And was that the first song? That was the first song that was
No,
the
it
Judge,
was The
right?
Judge,
and then Cocktail of Chemicals was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right. And so we'll come up with a bunch of disparate things, and I think to one degree or the other, we strive to make things a little different and go on a journey and try some new things and try to push
The boundaries, man.
Yeah.
musical boundaries.
I mean, like,
man.
yeah, we're not like we're in a rock band. We're not like pushing, doing something crazy like Client Object or anything. But like
No,
we
we're not-
are, but we try. I like to make it interesting though. There's got to be some spice in the dish. It's fun being in a rock band, playing rock songs and stuff at its most basic, simplistic level, and it's fun as hell to do that. But also, looking at the swear words I can't say.
You could say
But
that.
yeah,
You
we
can say
like to throw some spice in there to, at least with the songwriting structures, and I don't know, it kind of helps that we're all novices, so we're all kind of just figuring out how to do it.
I don't
and
know. We're like
forming our own
intermediate
process.
now, dude. Come on, bro.
None of us are classically trained. We don't know much music
Yeah,
theory.
bro. Lane and I, it's been like.
No, I mean, I would say this is a good thing, not to put us down. I think we come up with something
Yeah.
interesting from it, and our song structures.
Yeah.
That's something I definitely pride on, making something interesting.
Some of my one of my good friends in Durham was like, dude, I saw you guys play at Iguanatropolis over hopscotch, and he was like, yeah, like I know that you like don't like know like a lot of theory, but it was really cool to see like how intentional you were with like everything, like all of your songs, you know what I mean? Like while it was like not like very like theoretically like complex, the feeling and the intentionality and
Some of us know what modes are.
the emotion. Yeah, well,
No,
it was good.
It
It
works
was
well.
good. Yeah.
This all amounts to a good dynamic, and I
Yeah.
think interesting stuff that we write. And a further comment that I would continue off of that, I really like the three of us. It leaves me a lot of room as a bass player, which I don't think I would normally have to like really fill in for where the song's gonna go structure wise and chord changes and all that kind of stuff. It's fun to take that much of an active role in the rhythm section. It's very fun, personally.
Yeah, just holding it down.
Holding it down.
Yeah.
I wanted to add that it's really interesting. I know we were talking about the guitars earlier, where like
Guitars.
You do have more than one guitar. You said the Red Gibson, but he plays more than one guitar. He'll come in and just be like, "This is the best guitar I ever saw." And I'll be like, "Yes." And then the next week it'll be, "This is also the best guitar I've ever seen." I'm like,
No, but the
also,
Gibson,
yes.
the Gibson and
It's awesome. No,
the Gibson and the
enthusiasm.
J
A
Mascus
plus.
Jazzmaster Squire are the two guitars that I play primarily.
I'm not gonna learn their names, bro.
Hey, but maybe somebody out there is like, man, what are those
No, they
guitars
might
that
appreciate
Connor's
it.
playing?
Exactly.
Have you named the guitars?
I haven't yet. I think Big Red is the Gibson though, for sure.
Spicy.
Like the spicy, yeah.
Oh yeah. With the spicy variety thing. If y'all were a spice, what spice would you be?
Oh.
I don't know any good spices. I don't know spices.
I'm gonna
Armchair
s-
powder.
I want to say cardamom. I really
That's a
like
bullshit answer.
cardamom.
Oh wow. Complex.
Or like
It's-
anise,
No.
anise. I don't know which.
I don't know. I already said armchair powder, which is a terrible cop-out answer, but
What is that?
I was just trying to pick the most indie spice I could think of. It's some Indian spice. I
Sure.
haven't used it in a while.
Okay.
Cumin seeds? Cumin seeds are good. Yeah, I'll say cumin seeds.
Okay.
Versatile.
I am not old enough to know these spices. I'm 22.
It's all right.
I don't
Once
know.
once you graduate college and you have to like cook for yourself and make the
We're making
recipes.
it sound old.
And make
Cook
the
it anyway.
well, okay,
Yeah,
but
cooked
I
in
didn't make
college.
when I was in college. I didn't make like crazy meals. You know, I
Yeah.
feel like once I
made
graduated
good.
and
hamburgers, spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the traditional hamburger spaghetti and like rice and stuff.
Man.
Uh,
Oh, and
I like how
would,
you just had to ask a question too. That's
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't
want a
know.
question.
I would also be paprika, just
oh,
in case
yeah.
anybody was wondering.
It's really good in hummus. If you
Mhm.
make
It's a
your own
nice
hummus,
name
at
for a
home.
That's like-
child.
Oh, that is precious.
Call him Pappy for short.
Pappy.
Oh, all right.
Pappy.
Moving on.
Going on to texture, I guess. You mentioned that you have a whole bunch of pedals. I am also a guitar player. What pedals do you have?
Oh man.
What
All
pedals
right.
do you
Well,
use?
we're gonna
3
start with
hours
we're gonna start
later.
with the signal chain.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run
yeah,
through it.
I know.
I'm gonna
Like-
run through it, and I'm not gonna talk about them. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
what they are. I'm gonna
Okay,
say what they
good.
are. So
Good.
we have the tuner going into the crazy organ pedal emulator, going into a rat, and then I
I love
have
rats.
a
I love rat pedal.
yeah, it's so good. And then I have a crybaby wah that I put like a true bypass switch into because they have like a stupid like buffer that like kind of like sucks some of the tone out of there,
Okay.
and I don't really like that. So I like soldered a new switch in there, and it's like totally clear signal path. And then from there it goes into this like limited edition like Death by Audio pedal called the Super Fuzz War.
Ooh.
And it's a fuzz war, so it's the same one that Ty and John Dwyer use, and a couple of dudes from like the band like Wand and like the Meat Bodies, and I think like Fiddlar and Dive use it too. Like it's really popular in like garage, and that has like a fuzz and then treble boost, and then from there it goes to modulation. So I have a like Dark Star reverb that's like really crazy, like deep space. That's like the deep space reverb, and then I
Dope.
have it split into stereo delay, just like a regular like Boss like DD7, and then the stereo Hall of Fame reverb, and I use the plate setting on that because the reverb on my amp doesn't work. And then I split it. I have a solid state amp and I have a tube amp, and then I pan them so that the delay goes wow 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 wow.
That's
wow,
awesome.
Can you
Whoa, whoa,
pan
whoa.
his voice post?
Wow 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 wow
I
wow wow
don't
wow.
think I can.
Do it.
I will try. I will try. Oh my gosh. You put my pedal board to shame. Jeez.
But
I have
I've been-
like
I've been-
five pedals.
yeah, but
That's-
dude,
that's
I've
a
been-
reduction.
I've been, like,
That
playing in
he's
bands
curved back.
For like 6 years, you know.
Yeah,
It's just like it's
yeah.
once you start.
He's a pedal manga.
I am a pedal monger.
Nice.
I buy and sell pedals.
The-
True. Get you on
uh,
Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
No,
listed-
you spell on Reverb, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reverb, Facebook Marketplace, just listed some today. Actually, got a lot of boss
Catch
stuff.
them on Facebook Marketplace and Reverb.
Oh,
do you use any pedals, Chris? Because the bass can be fuzzy, I feel.
Yeah.
At times.
I'm a little pedal baby. I don't know anything
life.
about those. So I'm also I'm
Rats,
just
yeah.
using a rat
Hashtag
that
rat life.
goes through an
Yeah.
LS2, a Boss LS2 for just a frequency splitter, so I can get the clean sound. Because the rat
Mhm.
really does. I love the sound, but it removes the low end completely.
Yeah, it's really popular with the
But
punks in the 80s. Sonic Youth used
Punks
that.
and grunge, yeah, Sonic is great.
Yeah, so I might get something else. Forgot what I was gonna get next.
Deluxe Big Muff.
No, I was
Bass
gonna
Big
get
Muff.
those
Green
things
Russian.
that take the
Big
sound
Muffs
off
are
and
good.
the
Noise
top.
gate.
No.
Compressor.
Compressor, yeah.
Yeah.
Compressor.
Niver needs a compressor.
That's the next thing I'll get. So.
Yeah.
But I'm a little pedal baby.
For sure.
I'm learning. Come on. You make it sound.
Yeah.
No, I think a compressor would be so
You
helpful.
should have done that
I'm-
years ago.
I'm a
But
pedal
yeah.
baby, but I don't want to be. It's just I have a vocal pedal. I use a TC Helicon, and
That's
I
very
don't.
good.
I'm like already using all of my appendages, so I like can't hit it
Yeah.
during the song because I'm drumming and also
Yeah.
singing, so I'm like fully occupied. I cannot do it. So I think what we're gonna do moving forward is I'm gonna get pedal baby over here
Maybe.
and Mr.
Yeah.
Niver to press
No, we're gonna
my
get a
pedals
pedal
for
player.
me.
Oh, how
We're
sick
gonna
is
get
that?
a pedal player.
Yeah,
We're gonna get
yeah.
a fourth member.
Ain't nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
we
that'd be
can
so
like
sweet.
hire
dog,
we can
and
hire
the
a
dog's
raven.
gonna do it.
Or we could do like what like the Black Keys do, and just like have like a dude that like sits in the back and like presses the pedals. For
Yeah,
us. It's like a
that's what I'm
groupie
saying.
that
No,
sits
they
in the
go-
back.
Yeah,
that
dude,
presses the
they-
keys.
it's
no,
a-
they're coming up on stage with us.
It's a guitar and pedal tech. Well, they have like
Oh my God.
racks. They have like racks of like
They're also really famous.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to be that famous.
Mm.
But
We're
we do
about to
play a
be.
very
We're
specific
about to blow up.
kind of music. Yeah,
Calling it
for
now.
sure.
Blow
I
up.
mean-
It's a WKNC blow up. No.
I mean, I'm still on
No.
team hire a raven, but whatever.
A raven.
Raven doesn't have enough mass to push the buttons.
Oh my gosh, they jump.
No. Think of birds. They fly. They're
Ravens
hollow
are
bones.
big.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Nope.
we'll have to find an episode of
Yeah.
Mythbusters. We'll
Yeah.
get back to you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
I'm the responsible one in
if
the
a cat
band.
can
I'm
push
just
a
keeping it
button.
obvious.
What?
Just trying to keep everybody in line.
I don't know what she said to keep us in line, but okay.
NC State logical engineer.
Think
I'm
and do.
Man.
just farting around.
Think and do, NC State.
Yeah, you just
yeah,
farting.
thinking and doing.
You can't hear it on the mic. He's just farting.
I'll try to get one for the mic later.
No.
I
I
feel
don't
pretty.
want
I'm not.
no.
didn't
I
eat
don't
any
want
food
that on
recently,
the. I don't
but
want that.
You can't control me. We're individual members.
You can't control me.
Band dynamic only goes so far.
True.
Is there any like specific like feeling or state you wish to like invoke through your music? Because I think with like I guess I listen to a lot of shoegaze and
That's great.
and
Good for you.
and well, I
too.
listen to a lot of shoegaze and grunge stuff and all that.
Excellent choice.
No,
Sounds
it's-
like we have similar taste in music
and
out of the three of us.
And a lot of shoegaze, at least how I feel about it, is like it's very sort of ethereal and blissful and type of thing. And that's where I sort of get from you guys. But I feel that ethereal and bliss with a driving force, just like going through it. So at least that's how I feel about it. How do you guys? What do you guys feel about your music and sort of the state that you wish to evoke with it, or if there's
I
anything
think
at all?
I think your assessment is correct.
I love
love
the
that's-
driving
that's a
force
g-
comment. I would definitely.
Yeah,
That's something that I
Great description.
enjoy. Yeah, because it
nail on head.
Yeah.
hit.
kind of suits me and Connor's dynamic too
Mhm.
Yeah.
a lot, and I think it works.
Because those are
well.
like the two. Those are like the two different kinds of music that like I really enjoy.
Mhm.
Obviously, like Kevin Shields is like one of my like favorite guitarists of all time. Not because he like really like does anything like like theoretically cool, but all of the like textures are like super wild and like and kind of like juxtaposing that on gosh. Thurston Moore, like the like crazy texture stuff with the more like drivey, like off kilter things.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like having like a really consistent like undercurrent of like the garage. I think that's I think that's
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's like you have like the bass like driving like rhythm section with like Elena and Niver and
I really like the drive.
yeah, the drive's great.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Honk, honk.
I love that. Get out the way.
Accurate.
And then like adding, I think that's definitely like a lot of the times like the bass for a lot of the jam stuff, you know, because it's like a lot easier. You get that like, you know, that like cat that's with the drums, like, and you know, the cat's like,
yeah. For a second, I was like,
you know,
what?
you know, and then
Wait,
so
what are you
that's
comparing?
that's like the head nod. That's like the driving force, right? You get your head start moving like that cat. And then once you have that bass layer, then you can start adding like all of the like texture and the and the reverb and the like beautiful like crazy like Kathleen Hanna like type like vocals that like Elena so skillfully lays down. You're welcome. You deserve it.
Yeah, going back to specific feelings, I don't feel like we go for anything. Like, I mean, different, like all the jams will have different kind of moods, and you know it'll ebb and flow what it kind of feels like emotionally, and then we'll kind of pick and choose and be like, this sounds good, but like I don't know, we've got a variety, I guess.
Yeah, I think we have a variety. Because we'll be like, ooh, this sounds like a cowboy song, or ooh, this sounds like we have weights on our legs and we're marching through the ocean floor. And
I forget what all the made up names were, like before we settled on real song titles. They
The
were,
working
they were
titles.
pretty good. I can't remember. They were good though. I came up with all of them, so I think they're good. But
okay.
they're like all the good ones. They didn't want to go with them. They wanted to sound professional.
Ooh, well. Yeah, that's about
But
it.
that naming thing as you go with like slight emotional thing, I love that. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like just some random basis to go off of that's not accurate. Just like Clown Car, wasn't that the name of Time for Screaming?
Oh, yeah.
I love
Time
that.
for Screaming was
Time for
Clown
Screaming
Car.
is great.
Yeah.
Clown Car's better.
That's a weird one.
Well,
It's not. They're
So
they're
that
better.
song-
no,
Encore.
that'll just be in the music video. It'll just be like cruising.
Yeah, we gotta make
Yeah.
we gotta make a
Yeah.
music video soon.
Yeah, that's
We'll have to do that.
that's on the radar.
Ye-
So
You can have like that music video be like, have you guys seen like the Clown Core?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Just like that. You just like
Oh,
Time
yeah.
for Screaming, kind of do it like that.
yeah,
Wow, that'd be
I'm
so
a fan.
fun.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be so fun.
Done.
Maybe not
Similar,
in
maybe
like
the
porta potties though. I
claustrophobic
think
feel.
we would have to do something that doesn't smell. You know what I mean?
Well, like to have it.
We'd be like-
What's one like in a van, like
Oh,
too.
that's true.
Like
Be like riding
they have porta potties in
bicycles
the
or something?
vans. Bicycles, yeah.
yeah, and then I could have somebody click on my
Something
pedals.
clowny.
We'll hire 2 ravens. I'll sell them on
Get
it.
out.
But yeah, I know that I am usually pretty moody and dissonant by nature when listening to different songs.
Yeah, you
So-
used to have a lip piercing, right?
Yeah.
Sick. Don't be ashamed.
I did. It looked really good.
It
but
did. It did look great.
It was eroding my gums, so I took it out.
Yeah.
But it was cool while it lasted. So like I like the driving things like Death Grips,
Death
you know that's
Grips?
just
Death
very yeah. Are you kidding?
I guess some of their songs.
It's
are more, like,
heavy.
straightforward.
Well, you
Okay,
don't-
it's heavy.
All right, heavy.
It
yeah.
is.
It's
It is
What
heavy.
about
Yes.
System Blower?
But then I also really like music like BBO, where it's really like lo-fi,
Yeah.
electronic,
Yeah.
lo-fi guitar, like weird pitch bend processing texture
Yeah.
stuff. And
Really
I feel
good.
like it all blends together. I've been trying to, you know, be like, let's write a happier sounding song too, even though it's hard. But I
It
really
is
like
hard.
the moody
Donk.
stuff. I'm just like minor chord, way better, A+.
Mhm.
Please.
Yeah, sorry, everything's all in that one mode. The third mode, the one that's all like spooky metally. We're
Beast
trying
mode.
to. My goal is for the next album to write songs that aren't in whatever
Yeah.
that mode is. Mix.
I'm gonna
I
start
don't know.
using a capo, and maybe that'll change. Maybe we'll do some open tunings.
We've
We'll
got
do like
some
a
big
D standard
ideas for
type
the
thing.
next
I want
one.
to I want to experiment with some D standard type stuff. Get things a little harder.
There's a lot of duality. It seems in your music and your processes. Just an observation there
Yeah.
that I really like.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
So,
yeah.
I guess, how do you, see your instruments in the role in your entire band? I know that you sort of just like, is it very much the rhythms are, I guess that's sort of like driving force while the guitar and the vocals are more sort of ethereal. Do you guys think about it all that much, or just kind of just like you all just jamming, right? I mean,
I think it depends on the song. I think it
Okay.
depends on who right. So with all of our like the way that we like write music generally, like somebody will start playing something first, and then the other two people will kind of like form around that. And so I think it really depends on the like the first like riff that gets written, whether it's like a drum beat or a bass riff or a guitar riff, right? So like for The Judge and for Cocktail of Chemicals, I did both of those separately and then brought them to practice. The Cocktail of Chemicals riff was I was listening to King Gizzard's Polygon Wannaland a lot at that particular time. And
that was filling in on what we already had with the drum and bass riffs, right?
Yeah.
And the modes, the song structure was there on those ones, and that was that's just one example.
Yeah, and then with The Judge, it was like that was what we were doing. I started with that, and then we kind of like built, and then we like exactly, we built everything around that. But I think with I don't know. I think it depends on.
That's our general dynamic, I guess.
Yeah,
I do like The Judge a lot, just because it's it seems very much like there are so many like different sort of like sort of points in the song where it's like this is very much sort of like brought out by the guitar, by the bass, by the drums. I think The Judge really is like really a good song that exemplifies like a lot of your like sort of different views and like aspects.
Oh, it's so fun to play live.
Oh.
It is like it's probably my favorite song to play live, honestly, just because it's like out of all of the songs, besides Coming Home, it's the simplest one.
Yeah.
From like just like a like you know, like
yeah.
I think it's fairly cohesive too, and that's nice. Like it doesn't seem as abrupt as some of the changes in the other ones, which I also like, but it's just nice, and those changes are subtle and interesting. That was the first song we wrote too in this new iteration, so he spent a long time on it, which something to be said about that. Or it was just fun.
We also, when we were making the lyrics, we were trying to write the lyrics all together, and so this was
which I don't think we've done since. But
no, but I'm not very good. We wrote the song around the time that Amy Coney Barrett was put in her position, and we were like
we
making
were also
it.
reading I just finished reading Blood Meridian.
Oh
so
yeah, gosh, that was it was a combination of Amy Coney Barrett
being
and the judge from what was the guy's name? What was the dude's
Judge
name?
Holden.
No, in the book though.
It was Judge Holden.
It was?
I think.
The really creepy dude with the umbrella, bald guy.
That which exists without my knowledge exists without my consent.
Gosh,
it's just a good line. Anyway,
wild
quote.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we got into like it's like a fiction but nonfiction story where like, I mean, I'm really not excited about women in power that are going to make decisions against women. So it was a good combination of both where, you know, I don't know if it's too cliche to go into the lyrics or not, but basically,
no, not at all.
For me, it's totally about her, where it's like you're eating bloody grapes, like the blood of people is gonna be on your hands. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, what are you doing?
I was kind of like
she's got her sons. She's trained her sons with she gave them all guns. You see how they rhyme? Yeah, that's how lyrics work. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Dolores Umbridge was definitely yeah, I totally forgot. We're talking about that too. What? What'd you say?
I was just making fun because Harry Potter's not cool.
All right, we don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that. That's I understand, but the character that was definitely. I was while we were thinking about people that we were trying to describe. That was on the docket.
What's your guys' like personal favorite songs to play, either live or just in general? Yeah.
My favorite song to play is "He Believes," and that was one of those.
Great.
Oh, thank you. That was one of those where Niver made the bass part at first, and we had jammed on it. But then I like went on a tear and
Oh,
made
yeah,
the,
dude.
made the song Skeleton.
Elena
and brought
wrote-
it back.
Oh,
and
that
was
was
like,
Elena
"Here's
wrote
it."
the
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
the guitar riff, like the main guitar riff that I'm playing, not the like doom 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 doom, not that part, but the gosh, what how does it go? Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. So Elena made a whole Ableton like skeleton of that part, and like made a whole skeleton of that part in like a chiptune type vibe. It was so
Yeah,
With
yeah.
Ableton,
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
cute. It was so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
it was
It was
really
good.
it was really cute. Yeah.
And that was a fun one to do it because I think, because then we of course aren't going to make that same song. We made our
Yeah.
interpretation of that, but the structure and obviously
Yeah.
tons of credit to
Yeah.
Elena for doing that. And
Oh.
it was a fun experiment. Yeah, so
Oh, hey,
we
thanks.
should do that fart around with that for other songs. You know, like
Yeah,
trying
I have
that
a
approach.
drum machine. I want to
I have a
write
guitar.
like one song with Elena using a drum machine on the bass, like while you're gone.
Nice.
So we can just do like a type. He's going to.
Cool.
Where are you going? Vietnam, Nepal.
I'm going to Vietnam on Wednesday.
Yeah.
No.
Bye.
Isn't that wild?
Glad I was able to get you.
I'm coming
guys.
back.
No,
Yeah.
I mean we've had
It
It
so
was
he was
perfect timing.
he's
been
really
in-
perfect
I've
timing.
been
he's
gone
actually
all
been on the
summer.
Pacific Crest Trail like all summer. So we've
Oh,
had
that did
two
it.
other people playing bass for us. Elena's lovely partner Logan, who's also
Logan Maxwell.
Logan Maxwell, yeah, who's also the
Some other
bassist
guy.
and saxophone player in Vacant Company and Tumbao
And Zephyranthes.
and Zephyranthes, yeah, who's
Okay, I've
interviewed
heard
here as well.
Yeah. Yep.
And then Ryan Yancey, who plays bass in Brutal Jr. and Henbrain and Absent Lovers.
They're both in
And
too many
Versa
bands,
Vice.
so
And
I'm
Versa
safe
Vice.
for now.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a legend. You'll see him downtown. If you're at Slim's, say hi to Yancey.
Yeah,
He's there.
he's there.
Okay.
But they're too
Oh, well.
busy, and I've written all the song or co-written all of the songs, so they're patiently waiting for me because I had already planned on leaving, but I'm coming back. This is my adventure year of not working and stuff. So,
Yeah.
That's
but
awesome.
we've been in the past 3 weeks or so that I've been home. We've been cooking up more stuff and
Yeah.
getting hyped for the future. So
We've been
I'm
scrambling
excited
the
for that.
Yeah.
Scrambling the eggs,
Mm-hmm.
What's-
That's right.
stirring
Oh,
the
wait.
pot.
One more thing about He Believes is I really want to say that the reason it's my favorite thing to sing is because
Oh yeah, gosh, I didn't answer that question
is,
either.
I wrote the song in a style that I like, which is convenient, but also it is about somebody that was very, very close to me that eventually ended his own life. And it's about people who can't quite grapple with their demons in time. And I want to take everybody take a moment. If there's somebody who's withdrawing from you, if you have any question about like, are they okay? Like, please ask. Like people need you. We all need each other. It's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
things are getting crazier and crazier. Just check on everybody.
Everybody love everybody.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Fake fan.
gosh.
I knew that.
Wow, how did I not know that?
Connor, your
Cool.
favorite?
Yeah, favorite song. I really
Song to
like Magic is Real because that the intro riff I wrote, we wrote the verse part first, like that part. And then I was like, well, we have to have like an intro thing. And then I came up with I started doing like trying to like figure out like variations and like was like doing that riff but with like a different cadence. And it just sounded so nice. Just the dynamics on that song are like really great because like we were talking about, right, the like ethereal, more like flighty riff that you have, and then you have the like driving like chorus.
The bass comes in really
Yeah,
hard
and it's like
simple
Yeah.
on it, and that-
yeah.
if I remember right, that harkens back to an idea like we'd been farting around with that for a while and like trying to get it to trying to put that into a song, figure out where to make that same sort of feel happen,
Yeah.
and then it ended up fitting nicely in what we had already had written for the verse and stuff, and it worked out great. That might be my answer as well. That was a fun one to play live.
Yeah. I really
And
liked
we've
that one.
mostly closed with that one, I think. I don't know if you guys are doing that in the summer. Did you switch it up the order at all in the summer?
No, we
I
kept
don't
the
know, I love
same.
closing with
Once
that
you
one, though.
once
That
you
was
come
so
back,
fun.
we'll switch up the set list because I
Cool.
don't want to play the album order again, and hopefully
Yeah,
we'll have like
definitely not.
another
Yeah.
song or
But
something
it was
when you
good.
come back.
Nice. All right. Well, now it's time to do the radio thing and play some music for your listening pleasure. I'm gonna put on some of. I'm gonna put on "The Judge" by Augurs. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned for that half.
Remember to vote.
Yes, remember to vote. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for listening. This is Off the Record with me, the Loaf, and I'm here with Augurs.
Hey,
how do you guys like the local scene here in Raleigh?
Elena, you can go first. I think I'm gonna go first.
Connor, you should go first.
I got strong feelings, man. I got strong feelings. R.I.P. Kings, R.I.P. Neptunes, man. Paul, if you're
R.I.P.
hearing this,
Berkeley.
please No, dude, Berkeley got extended.
For now,
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It got taken out of the rezoning.
I
though.
know. I'm just throwing it out
Anyway, when Augurs V1 was playing, and coming up, we got hit up to play Slims so many ding dang times. And we did, and it was a place where local bands could like cut their teeth. Is that that's the phrase?
Oh,
I have
RP
no idea.
Emerge. Yeah, it is cut your teeth.
Cut your
Because I
teeth.
definitely cut
Yeah,
my
what does
that
teeth at
mean?
Emerge at the open jams.
Yeah,
like,
and
that was when I
Emerge,
first
too.
got
It's
serious
like-
about playing every day.
So
And,
now, I mean, like we're, I feel lucky that we kind of established ourselves early on, because it's like hard for local bands to like find spaces to play in front of people for the first time, like
Yeah.
Tim Lemuel like built that stage at Ruby Deluxe. Thank you, Tim. And he has one at Night Rider now too, and like he's got the Wicked Witch as well.
Can we shout out that one house venue?
Oh yeah,
Exists now?
Iguanatropolis.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
yeah. I
we
wasn't sure
played
if it was-
there. Ask a Punk for
Ask
sure.
a punk. It's fall, so ask a punkin.
Yeah, Ask a
Let's go punk.
But like we, I and like we've been able to, we usually play at like the Poorhouse now, and I think that it's cool because we've been playing for a while and we can get shows like that because people know us and they'll show out to the shows. But like it's a lot tougher for bands that haven't played shows before to like get those opportunities, and our man Yancey at Iguanatropolis is like building it up slowly, but like that house is like not in great condition.
Ugh.
So like all of the like house show venues like in the Beltline are probably gonna get demolished within the next like 5-ish years.
I feel like you guys position like in the sort of, I guess, Raleigh local scene musically is like very unique. You guys seem you guys are a very unique sound, I think,
Thanks, man.
in this scene. I think also what's really awesome too is that you have a female lead, Elena, and singing and everything. The only other band I can think of is Bangs, which is another hugely like
And we played with
great.
them a couple
That-
times. Erica's awesome.
they're a
man.
great
Erica
band.
and Jess, they're absolute rippers, man.
or like. How do you guys feel about like sort of the women in this sort of Raleigh scene and in general, just sort of,
I feel like they're fantastic. There
Yeah.
are so many
Mhm.
great female musicians around here, and it is just really strange growing up as a female. Like, I feel like it's kind of normal for, guys in high school or college to be like, yeah, man, let's be in a band. But that's not really a thing you come across with females as much.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I just wish that would have been a thing. I wish I would have realized, or just like kind of made myself do it too, or figured out who else was out there. Because there are females out there. They're super talented, but if you just like don't have that push or encouragement to go out and do it, nobody in society is pressuring you to do that or go out and be that person that's a female musician, which can be difficult because there are times where you're either not taken as seriously
Yeah.
or you're just getting hit on. So
Well-
also, if you're a female and you're thinking about playing music, call me. I just really wish I would have figured out sooner that I can use my voice and I can get out there, and it can be so scary.
Oh yeah. Also, shout out Girls Rock NC.
Girls Rock, NC, and FemFest.
By the way,
Thank
Femfest,
you.
yeah,
both of
Femfest, yeah.
those
Femfest rock.
organizations
Yep.
are doing wonderful things for trans, queer, and femme folks all over the Triangle.
Thank you.
And just really, really awesome organizations putting a light on talent and just like showing younger folks that like music, like it's hard to make like music accessible, you know what I mean? But there's people out there that are like willing to help you get exposure and learn what it's like to be in a band. And I really think that Girls Rock is doing something really awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
there's nothing like being able to play your music to people, and yeah, I I support all females trying to get into it. I mean, it's it can be hard to start doing anything.
Mhm.
And
I heard
especially
that.
it can be hard to start
Yeah.
doing anything,
Yeah.
and then when you're just immediately just not taken as seriously, or the dynamics can get weird because you
Mhm.
show up and you're the only girl in a room full of guys that's trying to play music, and you're just like,
yeah, do you know
"Woo!"
where this cable goes?
and then you have
Yes.
to endure the mansplaining. You have
Yes.
to endure all the things.
I know what an XLR cable is.
Thanks for
don't.
asking. And then if you pair that also with just the insecurity of, wow,
Existence.
I haven't been existence. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, big player.
Just
performance.
anything.
Also,
Performance,
it's
Niver.
just,
Yeah.
also just the normal wow, I've never done this before, and now I'm in public playing, and what am I doing? Like negative self-talk can come in so strong,
Mhm.
but
Talk to
Just do
Elena. She'll
No,
help you
just
out.
start a band. Start
Yeah.
a band with your friends, and talk to
Yeah.
Elena as well. Not to contradict, but emphasize just do stuff with your friends. It's great.
Yeah.
yeah,
Play music, make art.
Yeah.
it's the best. And I mean, I never, if it wouldn't have been for y'all, I never would have gotten into music in
High
this capacity.
five.
So heckin'
Nice.
high five to you.
I mean, same here. Yeah, thanks, guys.
Hey,
Wow,
you
what a
want a
moment.
high five as well?
There's always a place for everybody.
Yeah,
You just have to find it.
it's true.
Yeah.
And
On
and,
out.
That's the
and,
beautiful
and I think
thing.
it's all of our responsibilities to make those places more visible, especially sort of like in again like maybe local music scenes in general. They're more male dominated and all that type of stuff. So yeah, but obviously there is always great people everywhere. So
Yeah, just gotta find them.
yeah, just gotta find them.
Hey,
We're augurs.
And you're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM Raleigh.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna do, or at least do some like quick fire questions, some like just like off topic type stuff.
Sweet. I
No,
love it.
do stuff. If you could play a show during any decade of music, what decade would it be? Would it be?
Oh,
1870s.
70s.
Yeah.
1970s.
I would say the probably like late 70s, early 80s, like right around like Joy Division time. I
Yeah.
love that band, and everybody was just like so depressed and wearing black, and I love like goth, like the goth culture in that like time period is
Mhm.
just like so cool to me, and like
Quick fire.
yeah, that'd be
That's fine.
What about
It's
you?
fine.
What about you? What about you? What about you? Go.
2150s.
70s.
70s? Is that more for like the psychedelic type stuff,
absolutely.
or just like yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess when you guys are playing live, like does the like how do you like the dynamic between you and like the crowd? Like, it is it very much like, do they feed off of you, or do you feed off of them type of thing? It's like,
Certainly.
I love what so this is like kind of like a weird thing, right? Because like we've been playing together since 2020, and honestly, I feel like now, like at this very moment in time, like I've hit my stride in performance where I
Mhm.
can play. Like you have to stand still on stage playing, like with guitar and bass too, Niver.
I don't
I'm
gotta stand
sure.
still. I'm
Yeah,
good.
Niver doesn't stand still at all. But like I've finally gotten to a point where like I can like move around and like stare at people and like do weird things and it's great. It's great. But I love when like people are vibing too, and like from a performance perspective, I definitely feel like we've gotten our like live sound to the point where it sounds like professional and like clean and correct, and we're not like making mistakes. Like
Feels good to make people feel good. Like the Wicked Witch show closing out album release.
Oh,
it was packed.
ripped.
It was so fun. Yeah, I
That's a
felt we
rip-off.
did great, and everybody else, yeah, definitely feel the energy. Of course, we always put on our best show every single crowd, but
Every single
it's
time.
always nice to see people enjoying it.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't publish it if we didn't think people would like it.
I I think for the first year we played, my voice would always tremble.
Yeah.
And it took me, at least a year to do that and be normal. And then it took me another year to be able to play stone cold sober and still be living life to the fullest and
Nice.
not freaking out in any single way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've all hit a better stride of being able to interact, or stage banter doesn't feel extremely stupid anymore. Doesn't feel extremely stupid anymore.
Yeah.
It's fine. I have a good time.
You guys have a good
And,
time, yeah.
I mean, if we have a good time, I would
guess,
assume
going off of
other
I guess
people
space rock
have a
in
higher
general.
chance of having a
like
good
I haven't heard of
time.
space rock until like I started looking up you guys. like
That's
I was
awesome,
like
dude.
doing my research. What's your guys' favorite planet if you have one?
Saturn. I love the rings, man. I love the rings. That's so cool. Having like some like orbital rings.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Pluto because it's been excommunicated.
Just like Martin Luther.
Yep. I would just say Neptune because I don't know. It's the first word that popped into my head. It's a good word. Neptune.
The god of the sea.
Neptune. You know, it's fun.
You know my favorite planet is Earth. What we're living on right here, right now.
Yeah, it's a good.
I can't believe
choice.
none of you guys would say
Yeah.
Earth. Wow.
Yeah, we're too easy.
We're all just depressed.
No, Earth just
I
has a
am
lot
too.
of stuff going on right
It does.
now.
It has a lot.
So I
We gotta
Just
spread the
noise.
love. There's not even any humans on those other ones.
Yeah, we
Yeah, that's true.
colonize.
Colonize the planet.
Mars for the rich,
Not
Earth
all
for the
of
poor.
Oh,
I am
God.
definitely
Connor's
torn
a
on the.
closet capitalist.
I
There's
don't
no
I don't
planet
know
B.
if I'm into space colonization.
That's right. I was just quoting that Giz album.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I was.
No, he
thinking
means
you
it.
were-
He's real.
I'm real.
But I mean, Giz does have wise words, though. They're evoking some Black Mirror stuff.
Nice. So, what's your guys' like one favorite pedal? Each individual. I know you guys use a lot. Like, what's like your one favorite pedal that you're like bring to like a desert island? You can't bring anything else.
Well, on a bass, the LS2 frequency thing. I only use it for the frequency splitter. I think it has other uses too, but that's just nice because then you can use any pedal on a bass, and then you'll still have the clean signal going through.
Yeah.
That's just nice.
Oh, wait, also quick question, Chris. Do you use pick or finger? You pick or finger?
I just use
bass?
finger. I don't
Okay.
know. I'm kind of stubborn about it. Like I feel like I was using a pick the other day because my fingers hurt
Mhm.
because I hadn't played in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, mostly just fingers. I want to get good enough to do like everything
Mhm.
with fingers and get that hard driving sound just with your hand because it is really fun to connect to it so directly. I do love that about bass. How the closer you can get to the sound, the closer you can make that to your body is just a satisfying feel. So I should mess around with picks a little more though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I personally use pick. I play bass.
I
You're a
like
bass
the
guy?
bass
Yeah.
sound a lot of
I'm a
people
bass
get
and
with the
guitar
pick.
guy.
Yeah.
I do
Interesting.
everything.
A versatile man. I'm gonna go with the Super Fuzz War, because it has a crazy tone and you can sound like you've like locked your amp in a safe and threw it in the ocean, and it also sounds like a swarm of bees that
Nice.
you locked in a tin can that really makes your ears hurt because it's so trebly. And it also has a volume boost, so if I'm like, I want like 10 cans of bees, you can do that.
I love bees.
I love bees. I love bees.
I love bees. Plant pollinators, guys. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't really use pedals like that besides my TC Helicon, but I'm just gonna say the RC looper pedal.
Mm-hmm.
That's my jam when I'm by myself. So
That's solo gig.
yeah, so I can sing things and harmonize with myself and add the effects on, and it's a good time. I've also written stuff that way too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's how I do stuff in my house sometimes when I'm doing
Yeah.
like solo things.
mhm. Yeah, that's my answer.
Nice. All right.
So-
Well, what is an augur? By the way?
Augur is not to be confused with a drill auger. So everybody wants to
They're
spell
similar.
it AUGERS, which is totally reasonable and logical.
The
'cause
drills.
That's usually what people are talking about when they say augur in real life. But we are AUGURS. And what augurs are, what augurs are ancient Roman officials that would be able to tell the future based on bird movements. And they were right there with the dudes that were looking at like sacrificed entrails and those types of things to they would get those interpretations and take them to the higher ranking officials in Rome and be like, yo, we need to go to war with these cats. By the way, the eagle was flying westward and screeching. We need to go to war with these guys. Like people would go to ancient Roman college, like college, and study this to be able to advise the higher ups on what to do. But it's not any old birds. It's like eagles, vultures.
The cool ones.
Not just any old birds.
It's
not
not
any
any
old
old one.
birds.
It's the smart ones.
The smart ones.
Smart
Owls,
ones.
except for chickens, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't
Yeah.
think chickens are very smart.
No, they're not.
No.
They're
So-
smart in their own
I'm
ways.
smarter than a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vulture, eagle, owl, ravens.
Crows probably too, right?
I mean, that's like.
Magpies?
That's a raven, bro.
Wait, are
What?
they all?
No, they're not. It's a magpie.
All right.
I'm gonna
That's
say-
the birds.
I'm
We got the
gonna-
birds. We got the birds. We're
Oh,
good.
Seeking
also-
truth seekers. That's all you need.
Truth
Yeah.
seekers.
Yeah.
Truth seekers, magical, mystical.
Boyds.
Beautiful.
We are the
beautiful,
AUGURS.
natural.
Wise?
Yeah,
They
and
read the
Handsome?
signs from the Boyds.
yeah, and so a fun fact about birds is that vultures keep their tails short by nibbling on them with their beaks, so that when they are walking around carcasses and other detritus, they do not get their tail feathers soiled. They
Mhm.
also pee on their feet to avoid contracting any diseases from their nasty steppings on as well.
Hmm.
So there you go.
Interesting. Honestly, like I knew what augury was. I just didn't know what it actually meant. So I was like, it's great because
Yeah.
augury is just like
It's when we were
foretelling the future, I guess. with birds.
It's
Mhm.
birds, and it was really funny because that came from we got augury. I got augury as word of the day, and I was like, "Ooh, that's interesting."
yeah.
And I looked it up, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is incredible!" Because we had other band names like Ducky, and I was like, "Oh my, no,
I like Ducky.
no."
Ducky
We
would be
like
good.
think of our music, and if we were named Ducky,
Yeah, that would be sick. It'd
Oh
be
my
like
God.
No, dude. But shout out
Whiskey
Duck though.
Puppy?
They're playing with
They're hard.
Julia at
Duck.
Cat's Cradle
Oh yeah.
soon. Good stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, and check out Wormholes, the Charlotte-based band.
Oh,
We
yeah.
love
Oh, they
playing
rock.
with them.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
amazing.
Really
and
dope. They just played at Transfer Co on Friday, actually.
oh,
So
Catch
it'll be
me
a little
again?
bit.
catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And, Yep.
Nice.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you, augurs, for coming down and speaking with me. It was dope. Where can people find you? Where can people find your music and anywhere else?
We got Spotify. You can find us on Bandcamp. You can find
What's
us
our Bandcamp?
on Instagrams.
What's the Bandcamp name?
oh, I don't know.
Augurs Band?
Augur sounds.
Augur Sounds.
Yes.
That's our Instagram as well. So you can find us there.
All right. Well, this is WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. I've been the Loaf. This has been Off the Record with Augurs. I'm going to leave you off with He Believes and Coming Home from Augurs. Thank you guys for tuning into Off the Record. See y'all later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Awesome.